Hello there, bewildered bat here. I bet you're wondering why my hair is wet. I took a shower. Yes, a shower. No, I just got back from a run and took a shower before I go to work. I can't say where I work because they have some very weird software that puts a red dot on my chest if I show their logo in a video. But I was just thinking on my run. Um, it was a very beautiful run. Very sunny. It was raining on and off where I live, and it finally. I was waiting for it to decide what it was going to do, rain, not rain, and it cleared up just long enough for me to go running, and it started sprinkling, and I got this picture that I wanted to share with all of you. That, if you can see it, maybe I shouldn't turn it sideways, but that is the sky that I saw. It's very beautiful. I wish the sky was always like that, but that doesn't always happen. Anyway, the sun was in a very weird position. It was right over me, which is not weird, but the weird thing, I'm looking at myself again. But the weird thing, did you like that? That close up? Nothing else but my face. The weird thing was the sun was pretty much right over me like my light is. And there was clouds all around me, so it looked kind of like Minecraft or Skyrim. Couldn't really, it looked like it was just a big old light bulb. But I was thinking on my run, like I often do, I look up at a sky like the one that I show you, and I just think of space and how expansive space is. I put this on Facebook a very long time ago, and I just wanted to get it out there on my videos, that I don't think a lot of people realize how expansive space really is. I know a lot of people do and have recognized it and acknowledged that, but I don't think a lot of people really seriously think about it. You know, because, well, my thought process begins with Earth, of course, because we're living on Earth. That things we worry about nowadays are created by humans, and I'm sure that people have realized that, and I'm not trying to say I'm breaking any new ground. But, you know, stuff like bills, grades, money, all that kind of stuff doesn't matter, but to us. 2 light years away, what we do here doesn't affect anything, as far as we know. Our money doesn't hold any value, our bills, our grades. Straight A's means nothing on the once known planet Pluto, you know. And I was just going to share that with you all, with everybody out there. You know, if you've seen the Pillars of Creation on Google, if you haven't, you should look it up. Go to Google, type in Pillars of Creation, and hit images. And it's a very beautiful sight. And you have to think, what's beyond that? What's past that? And I hope I live to see the day where we can go that far into space, light years and light years away. In which it seems that one time I heard of a probe being shot into distant space, and that's not the effect I was going for. Sorry. Just ignore that. I am so sorry I had to put you all through that. But you just think of how expansive it is and where that probe is now. And then I was remembering all these different kinds of campaigns that sends people into space. For instance, I'm reminded of 2 at the moment. I saw one for Axe, the body spray, not too long ago, that you enter a contest to win a trip to space on board a rocket. And then I know of one Land Rover did, or is still doing, I'm not sure if it's still going or not, where you enter a contest once again, but you win a trip to space for you and 2 friends. And then, after that, I was also reminded of that expedition that's going to Mars. If you don't know about it, I don't have much knowledge on the subject, but I do know that they're sending some people to live on Mars for the rest of their lives, and I don't know what they're going to eat. I don't know anything like that. I don't know if they're going to be able to socialize. I don't know what they're going to live in. But I just thought it was interesting that they might end up not doing it, but it's interesting to be shot off to some other planet to live. It's a scary thought. It really is, to be out there in space like that. But I think it's very interesting. I think it's a cool idea. And I have to say, if I had no family on this planet and I had no ties to this place, I think I would like to say I would go. But I'm not in the situation to either deny it or accept it, so I can't say for sure what I'd do, but I would like to think I would want to go, because it seems like something that I couldn't pass up. The only drawback is, as far as I know, those people are not coming back to Earth, ever. So I don't know what they're going to do when they die. They might be coming back. They might plan for them to come back, and there might be stuff that they're not telling us about the whole expedition. But I was just thinking about the situation us humans are in. We're on this rock, being Earth, sitting on an invisible axis that we can't see, floating in this expansive universe, galaxy, universe, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to say. I burped, excuse me. On this, sitting on this invisible axis and spinning. And you can literally go in any direction forever and not stop. I was talking with my grandfather one day, a long time ago, about space. And my grandmother tells me he was a very logical thinker. And when I think he's passed away now. He passed away in May of 2013, which you might not care to hear that, but it's kind of tied into what I'm saying. I can't remember how old I was, but I was sitting on his back porch, and he was just talking to me about space, and he was saying he doesn't understand. He can't wrap his head around if you left the planet, and he pointed out towards the sky, and I forget which direction, but he pointed just out towards the sky. He said, I can't wrap my head around it, JT, that if you punched a hole straight that way, that you would go and never stop. And all I said then was, me either, Papa. And I really wish I would have said something more, but I wasn't as much of a thinker as I am now. It's a very good point. That, I mean, if you really think about it for a minute, if you left Earth now, shot up into space, and turned this way at a 90 degree and went on, as far as we know that you would never, and you went that direction, as far as we know that you would never stop. You would go forever and ever, and you wouldn't reach the end. But my papa brought up a kind of a funny point. He said his luck, he'd fly off into space, punch a hole in one direction, and fly, and end up at hell's door. And the devil would say, well, Joe, his name was Joe, by the way. He said, well, Joe, you found hell. You're here. And he's like, well, I just screwed the pooch on that one, didn't I, JT? I was like, yes, sir, you did. And I really wish I would have said more about that, because now that he's gone, I don't mean to depress the internet, but now that he's gone, I can't talk to him like I want to. I will admit that I didn't go out there as much as I should have. That might be a little personal for YouTube. And I'm sorry. This will probably be the only video I do like this. I was just thinking while I was on my run. I wish I could talk to him now, because now I talk, not that it's a bad thing, now I talk to my grandmother about him, and she tells me a lot that I wish I would have heard from him. Face to face. But for some reason, I never thought to ask him those questions. I have one grandfather, and then I have a step-grandfather that's still alive. And now that I'm talking to you about this, I think I'm going to discuss these points with them, just to see their opinion. Now, y'all might think I'm crazy, y'all might think I shouldn't, but I think it's important for us to talk to the people in our lives who we don't think will be around much longer. And it hurts me to say that. It really does. But, yeah. If you watch this video, be sure to talk to people. Don't just not call your grandparents, your parents, your brothers or sisters. Don't just not call them. Don't just not text them. Don't just cut off communication altogether, because you will regret it one day. When you think back on all the conversations you could have had with them, and all the things you could have said, you could have did for them, with them, all the things you could have done. I just hope you guys take this message literally, take it seriously, and don't just make fun of me for doing this. But please take my advice. I do remember one time with my grandfather that's now passed away. I was very young, and I remember this because it's one of the only times I did this. Me and my cousin were at my grandfather and grandmother's house out in the woods. This is nothing serious, but he was taking his medicine for that night, and before he had sat down at the kitchen table in his chair that he always sat in, I had a green whoopee cushion, and I put it in his chair. Now these chairs I had were wooden chairs with cushions, so I hid my whoopee cushion under the cushion that he sits on. And he sat down, and it made the noise, and it was really funny. And I just wish I would have done that more. I wish I would have been out there more to do that type of thing, because now that he's gone, and I can't. Well, if he was here, I'd be a little over that now, don't you think? I think I would, but yeah, I just regret not spending more time with him. I thank you for watching this video, and I thank you for listening to my ramblings. Even if one person watches this, thank you for listening.